So first, congratulations on being the first ever dual members of the month at Apollo. It's kind of exciting. I think it's a really cool element that we haven't done before. So congratulations on that. It's also the first time that we've ever filmed it.
Thank you.
So no pressure. Don't worry about it at all. It's going to be completely natural. We're just going to kind of go through a series of questions. So everybody that doesn't get an opportunity in class to see you ladies kind of gets to know you a little bit better. So what made you two want to try CrossFit?
Well, growing up, we were really athletic, very competitive, and just had a competitive kind of background. And as we got older and had children and stuff, we kind of lost that part of ourselves.
Yeah.
So we had some friends who were doing CrossFit, and they basically encouraged us to do it with them. They said it would be perfect for us because we're so competitive in everything we do, board games, etc. So they convinced us to try it, and so we did.
It was such a cool experience when you guys first started. Well, one, Courtney started, probably about a month beforehand, not warning me at all that you were coming. And so the first time I introduced myself to you, I actually obviously was, hey Courtney, what's going on?
Yep.
And I still feel like you guys planned that on me at the time.
It was not a trick, but she was prepared for it when she walked in.
Of course, yeah, you were unfazed by it completely. It was really, really cool experience for me. And so then, what was funny, like, to see it, because I got to see it twice then, right? So it was like, that first week, Courtney's, like, she's killing it for her first week. You ended that workout, you're so emotional. And so what was running through your head then?
It was very emotional. It was hard, again, just because we were so competitive and athletic growing up, it was hard to see where I was at, how much I had lost. And
Sure.
Trying to be competitive with people who have been doing CrossFit for 5 years and thinking in my head I can keep up with them, and my body not doing what my head thinks it can do was very, very tough for me. Very tough.
Was that a pretty similar thing that you were thinking, Whitney?
Oh, for sure. Although anybody would cry their first time doing wall balls.
I completely agree.
But yeah, it was the same thing. I was just frustrated with where I was.
It was
frustrated.
It was definitely cool to see that first week from both of you, and now to see what we're close to a year now. It's getting up there.
It's getting there.
And so to see like the progression that's being made, and how much I can just see the confidence you guys have in workouts now, and with movements now, it's pretty cool.
For sure, it just different. Realizing I still, a year later, about 7 months now. Just the huge progress I made. I still can't keep up with those people, not even close, but just realizing I need to be competitive with myself as opposed to...
Yeah, for me as a coach, like, and especially because I get to see you guys pretty much every day, to see the improvement over the course of these months has been so rewarding for me, but it's just so, like, it brings a smile to my face to see you guys progress the way you have. So it's been really cool. And we kind of already touched on the competitiveness. Like, it's subtle. You guys don't ever say anything like to each other. Maybe you do when I'm not around, I don't know. But it's kind of fun to see like the back and forth between you two, whether it's like you don't come to the same class, like what did she lift, what am I gonna lift, kind of deal. But it has always been like that.
It has. It's funny because we're definitely competitive, but we don't really care to be better than each other. We just don't want to be worse. You don't want to be worse. You don't want to be It was that way in sports, in school, in work, in everything we do. You just don't want to be worse than the other person. If we're equal, we're good. Cool. And if I'm better, I'm good. But we just don't want to be the lesser twin.
People naturally compare twins. They're always going to be like, oh, your sister did this, you didn't. Oh, you did, so it kind of forces you to want to keep up.
For this kind of environment, right? You're always going to push each other. So it's going to be fun in the coming years. So you also both have the same job.
Yeah, we do.
Let's talk about this because I think it's super cool. What do you do?
Well, we're sign language interpreters, so we freelance, which means we work for ourselves, we make our own schedule. So we work in various places all around the valley, from doctors' offices, hospitals, courts, schools, colleges, shows, almost anything you can think of.
Wow.
That's where we
I
done
didn't
it.
know shows too, that's really cool. And I can see it too in the class. Like it'll be at, like us at the whiteboard. You guys are like signing to each other something. I'm like, what is going on
We're trying
right
to be
now?
quiet.
No, I think it's actually super cool. But that's such a cool job.
Works for long distance communication, you know.
Or when you're out of breath.
How long? When did you learn, I guess, that skill?
We actually started learning it when we were young. Our mother put us in this program called Sign Design Theater, and it was a kids program where you learned sign language. We weren't necessarily fluent, but we could baby sign. I knew my alphabet, I knew my colors, things like that. But we didn't.
Better than me, for sure.
Right. But we didn't pursue that. But then after high school, thought it'd be a fun elective credit in college, and then just kind of fell in love with the language and just
went from there and found out we could actually make a career out of it.
Wait, I can make money?
We did.
All right, I'm in.
That is super, super cool to me.
Thank you.
All right, so I've got some individual questions for each of you. Courtney, starting with you. Most memorable moment at the gym since you've been here?
Most memorable moment would probably be the day I got my first rope climb. That day I'd been working on rope climbs for a while, and it was something I was struggling with, and I finally got all the way up the rope, looked around and nobody was looking at me, and I even hung up there for a little bit trying to get your attention or anyone in the whole gym to just validate the fact that I made it all the way up there. But really that rope climb kind of signified, I started to pick up things after that. So after that rope climb, I started to get a pull-up, and I started to get, I just started to get things after that. So that was the first real big accomplishment I felt like I had.
I do
and
very
no one
distinctly remember that moment, because I had turned around right when you were coming down. You're like, I did it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't see it, I'm so sorry. But yeah, you can totally see the transformation that's occurred since that moment, and it's been so cool.
For sure.
Whitney, the video that you posted, I almost have to repost it after this interview because it's amazing. Your kids doing a CrossFit workout and modifying box jumps with jumping on top of their little unicorn stuffed animal.
Yes.
Which we've titled Unicorn Jumps. Best video ever. Are they still doing workouts at the house?
They do. Almost every single night,
Seriously?
the kids ask to do a workout.
That's so cool.
They've gathered. We don't really have a lot of workout equipment at home. We have a few dumbbells, but they've gathered random objects, stools and toys, and they use the couch. They've cleared a place off the wall so they can do their handstand push-ups and unicorns and anything they can to try and do a workout. And sometimes it's funny because they'll see what I did or ask what I did that day and want to do a similar workout. So
Future
they do.
CrossFit Games
Right?
athletes right there. And so ladies, that was it. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it a lot, as always, and I hope everybody at home does. Again, thank you and congratulations on being members of the month.
Thank you very much.
Thank
we really
you.
appreciate it.